So I'm going to talk about, I think it's the same idea of the first presentation, how to leverage cloud-native vector data in your geospatial application in an easiest way, in an easy way for developers or for normal people, I would say. So first, to introduce myself, I'm Florent Gravin, Head of Technology at CamptoCamp. I come from France, French Alps. And to be honest, the mountains over there are pretty more beautiful than here. No, just kidding. It's to hold my French reputation, but I don't buy it. So I work at CamptoCamp, which is quite famous, mostly in Europe, probably, because we are historical contributors to many OSGeo solutions, such as OpenLayers, GeoServer, GeoNetwork, QGIS, and others. In Europe, we are more focused on OGC and stuff like this. And I'm very happy to meet other people with other direction in mind, who move maybe faster. And so my talk will be about how to make some analysis from cloud vector data. And this idea came from two assets, my asset, personal asset. It's for in France and in Europe. I don't have any customers from CamptoCamp that use cloud-native data. We are still stuck on WMS, WFS, and all SDI. And even the vector types at this time took a while to land in our customers' habits. So this is the first statement. The second statement is from my understanding and my reading that cloud-native format, infrastructure pipelines are more targeting data processing, big data processing for analysis, machine learning, etc., but are not really focused on visualization. So it's my understanding, but it can be discussed. So I wanted to make an experiment how to leverage those data in an application. And at those time, it was 2 years ago, the big statistical office in France, they released their data set as Parquet. And I was already looking into that, and I said, oh, it's a perfect match, perfect idea. I will use those Parquet and DuckDB and make a beautiful interactive map to see all the statistics about the population, etc., on the maps. And making echo to what has been said this morning, I think it's building capacity. It's my role as a CTO in France, maybe, to build prototypes and to show people that they can do something with this data. So my presentation will target a use case, which will be quite simple. It's more a storytelling for developers, how they can handle those data and how can they work with them. So first, you need to find your data. So you need to find a use case. So I won't take my French Parquet, but I will take the Overture Maps GeoParquet because it's easier for the presentation. And you need to find your use case. Okay. Well, usually if you have business, you have use case, but when you want to show something, you need to find use case. So I'm going to talk just about simple statistic, geospatial statistic, like the distribution of some places around some division area. Then to start, you need to find your bounding box. So I draw a bounding box on Salt Lake County, and I copy-paste all these coordinates that could be useful in my future requests. Then I need to understand my data set, how the schema, how it's shaped. So this Explorer is great for Overture, and I can click, I can see the county, how I can make SQL queries to target this county and to target places, so I can understand how I can build my query and understand my schema. Then I can start with DuckDB to make some requests on the data set. So for that, I use DuckDB UI, which is very simple to install. And then I start to play with some requests. And I target the Overture places with the bounding box that I got. And I'm starting to have something that looks like an analysis. Okay, not with this query, but maybe with this one. So next step is to build your query. So for that, you use the location, you use your knowledge about SQL. And for instance, for my analysis, I use two data sets from Overture, the area and the places. I take lowercase categories primary as school, and then I make spatial aggregation to have the count. So it's pretty easy for now. And what it, yeah, sorry. So yeah, and when I run this query the first time, I was a bit disappointed by the performance. It was quite slow. So I was like, okay, GeoParquet and Cloud Native is the meaning is it's here, and where the data lives, it's where I request the data. So I was quite disappointed. It was before the 1.1 release of GeoParquet, so it was slower. So my second idea was to get a subset of that to work on for my special use case. So if you work on a small area and about some specific data set, my suggestion was to download that with this tool. So copy paste the coordinates, and I download the Parquet, a subset of the Parquet locally, so it's getting pretty much faster. Then I was able to make this kind of application, so it was quite easy in the end. So I have a backend, and I'm running the SQL query with DuckDB with a Python or a JavaScript backend. And here I just put some two parameters. So the scale here. So locality. Okay, so the demo effect, it was just working, but okay, maybe I would just, yes, sorry. So yes, county, hotel on the county, on the locality. So it makes, and I can change the types of places. So I have kind of interactive maps, which rely on Overture Maps data, but they are a copy, okay, locally, but it's almost what I wanted to have. To improve the performance, when I generate a statistic layer, a core plate map, it's even, you can cache it, so still with DuckDB, so you copy it as a GeoJSON on your backend, and then you cache all your statistics and all your maps, so you can have interactive map with GeoJSON and cache data, which is pretty fast. I mentioned that here, so I'm going to create a lot of GeoJSON file, which I will use afterwards to generate vector tiles as well. Now, if I want to put more dynamism, okay, it was quite easy, just a backend with DuckDB, nothing very fancy. If I want to be able, I had two parameters. If I want to be able to request whatever I want from the front end, from my application. So there are different solutions. One is to use DuckDB or to load the Parquet file directly in the browser. So it's what you've done. So I tried with DuckDB WASM. It works only, there is only one disclaimer. It doesn't work on HTTPS protocol. So I don't know if somebody here know why and is it going to be solved. So it just worked because I download the Parquet file on my local machine and I address it with HTTP. But it's the same. You can run DuckDB in your browser. With you have to instantiate all the workers, and it works pretty easily. You just have to reconstruct your GeoJSON as an output. And thanks to that, I'm able to not use any backend and perform my query here, and I can write whatever I want. Okay, so I can write school and execute my query. And here, the backend is not involved. The query is run in the front end. So if you have HTTPS issue, like me, you can use GeoArrow. So it's the same idea. You can read the packet. You can have it as a GeoArrow frame, etc. You can decode it and then do whatever you want on the front end. You can still use DuckDB WASM to make a SQL query, or you can use other tools that maybe you guys mentioned before. So it's to bring dynamism by being able to write your query directly in the browser and expect that you find it. Another solution to bring this possibility to write your query is an open source software called Descartes, which is an extension of Kepler-GL based on DecGL, so I think you know, which with a backend is able to interact with cloud-native vector formats such as BigQuery, Snowflakes, or this kind of stuff. And here it's the same idea. So you write your query. Oh no. Okay. You write your query here, whatever query you want to write. And because Overture Maps are also in BigQuery thanks to Carto, you can do the same analysis and share your map directly thanks to Kepler-GL and style your map without any coding. Okay, the other application, I code it. So here, for instance, I can just change this to Paris and here to France. And it's going to execute a BigQuery SQL. So you can leverage H3, for instance. I put some H3, so all the capacity. And you can clearly interact with any cloud-native data, which are stored in BigQuery, for instance. But if you have Parquet, you can store a Parquet in BigQuery as well. So you can perform any kind of analysis in the browser. So you can target some needs, I guess. Okay, last things to build a great application. If you want to scale, so for instance, to have my French map statistics at all zoom level with different granularity, it's great to extract all your analysis that you got from the cloud-native data and to serve them as vector tile instead of retrieving GeoJSON. So there is many options. I just mentioned two. There is a great tutorial on the Overture Maps website. So all the GeoJSON file that I've got previously, I can use them and build PM tiles, vector tiles data set. And I can mix my analysis with Overture Maps base layers. So I can have a full data set in my vector tiles. And another solution that I've tried, and I would like to mention because I think it was great. So if you don't want to host your server, for instance, you can use Supabase with all the PostGIS extension. And there is a huge tutorial who help you to create the correct function to get your vector tiles from the data you stored in Supabase. And then you don't have any backend. You have just serverless services who serve vector tiles out of your data. So in the meantime, French government. So I wanted to make this map to showcase the ability of all of this, but French government was quicker, and they did this thing. So you have all Parquet data stored somewhere, and you can ask many statistical analysis on the French territory, and all the results. The distribution are served as vector tiles, and you can see the granularity change. And it's what the government offer to French population to know how much earn his neighbor, for instance, or stuff like that. So I think the loop is over. It was what I tried to do, and hopefully it can give some hints or some help for people who want to interact with cloud-native data, and for people who want to make maps that talks to people who are not developers or IT guys. And yes, and that's pretty it. So just the takeaway, if you want to make a beautiful application, you need to find the data. So I'm not very I don't know the best catalog to find the best GeoParquet or cloud native vector data. So I would like to know more about that. Still, live querying huge GeoParquet is slow. I don't know, what do you think? Is copying locally is a good option, or does it kill the purpose of cloud native stuff? I'm really curious about what you think. Use specific tools to prepare your data, your query, before you build your application, so you can really have everything on the table right for you. And you can manipulate those files directly in the browser. And you show guys a better example to load GeoParquet in a faster way. And if you want to scale, you can serve cache. So hopefully it wasn't rocket science. All the tools are here already on the table, thanks of guys here who make this ecosystem evolving fast. And it's very exciting to use those tools. And I think that's all for me. Thank you.